welcome back to my channel. In this video, let's discuss the Cognizant automation testing interview question and answers. Okay, so guys, I have provided this documentation in the interview preparation kit. Please do check out the link I have mentioned in the description and also in the comment section. Okay, so please do check out and let me know if you have any queries or questions. Let's get started. How do you handle synchronization issues in Selenium without using thread.sleep? Okay, so the synchronization issues occur when Selenium tries to interact with a web element before it is fully loadable, visible, or clickable. Using thread.sleep method is not recommended because it introduces a fixed wait time, making the test slower and potentially unreliable. If the element becomes available earlier, Selenium still waits unnecessarily, and if the element takes longer to load, the test may still fail. Okay, so instead, I prefer to use explicit wait, that's the WebDriver wait, as it waits only until a specific condition is met, such as an element becoming visible, clickable, or present in DOM. Okay. This makes the test more efficient and stable. In my automation framework, I create reusable wait utility methods so that all test scripts use centralized synchronization logic rather than the hard-coded waits. For dynamic applications, I also wait for page loading, AJAX requests, or specific loading indicators to disappear before interacting with the elements. Overall, I avoid thread.sleep and rely on explicit waits, proper element locators, and reusable wait utilities to make the automation framework more reliable. Okay, so the next set of interview questions goes like, what is the difference between driver.close and driver.quit? How do you capture screenshots only when a test fails? How do you read the test data from Excel, JSON, or a database in your framework? What is the difference between soft assert and hard assert in TestNG? How do you generate extent reports or allure reports in your framework? How do you implement retry logic for failed test cases? How do you handle dynamic test data such as OTPs, tokens, and session IDs? How do you optimize automation execution time for a suite containing thousands of test cases? A Selenium test passes on your local machine but fails in Jenkins. How would you investigate and resolve the issue? An API that usually responds in 500 milliseconds suddenly starts taking 5 seconds. Okay, so how would you identify whether the issue is in the API or in the test or in the environment? Can you write a Selenium program or the code snippet or the code script to handle a dynamic web table and retrieve the value from a specific row based on a matching column value? And the next question goes like, imagine you are asked to build a scalable automation framework for large enterprise application from scratch. Can you explain the architecture, design patterns, tools, reporting, uh, libraries, CI/CD integration, coding standards, and the best practices you would follow or implement? Okay, and the 13th question is similar to the 12th question. 14th question goes like, explain the page object model and what are its advantages and limitations. How do you manage reusable utilities, test data, configuration files, logging screenshots, and reporting in your current project framework? How do you implement parallel execution in TestNG and what challenges you have faced while running the tests in parallel? How do you integrate your automation framework with Jenkins, Maven, Git, and CI/CD pipelines? And the 18th question goes like, if your automation framework becomes difficult to maintain as the project grows, what refactoring strategies would you apply? What is the Selenium WebDriver architecture and how does it communicate with browsers? What is the difference between find element and find elements? When would you use each? How do you handle dynamic web elements and dynamic XPath in Selenium? What is the difference between implicit wait, explicit wait, and fluent wait? Which one do you prefer and why? 23rd question goes like, how do you handle stale element reference exception? What are its common causes? And the next question, how do you handle multiple windows, iframes, javascript alerts and file uploads in Selenium? 25th question goes like, what are the common reasons for flaky Selenium tests and how do you make your automation scripts stable? And the 26th question goes like, what is the difference between REST and SOAP APIs? And the next question goes like, what are the different HTTP methods and when would you use each one? How do you validate response status codes, headers, response body, and response time in REST Assured? How do you perform API authentication using basic authentication, bearer token, OAuth 2.0, and API keys? How do you perform API chaining in REST Assured by extracting the value from one response and using them in the another request? And the 31st question goes like, how do you serialize and deserialize Java objects in REST Assured? How do you automate an end-to-end workflows that involves both UI automation and API automation in a single automation project? Just you can explain this at very high level. And guys, answers for all these questions along with detailed interview ready answers I have given in the interview preparation kit. Please do check out and explore. I have given a link in the description and also in the comment section. That is the interview preparation kit. Okay, so please do check out and let me know. The interview preparation kit has been designed for 0 to 15 plus years of experienced candidates and it has been crafted after taking continuous 3500 plus automation interviews, and it covers the interview questions from top companies including MNCs, product based companies, startups and service based and many other companies, guys. Okay, so please do check out and let me know if you have any queries. Thank you so much for watching my video. All the best for your upcoming interview.